Why is there a prolonged history of discounting and attacking scientists who go against the grain and bring up potential problems as they relate to cellular device and EMF studies?
There has been a decades-long campaign by the wireless industry, fueled by billions of dollars, to downplay the science, to attack scientists, to criticize every study that shows effects, and there are many of them. And in fact, there's a memo that was between Motorola and their PR group where they talked about wargaming the science. And that's really what's happened here. There's been a wargaming of the science, just like there is for pesticides or air pollution, diesel fuel, asbestos, DDT smoking. It's the same story. Only in this case, the wireless industry makes big tobacco look like a mom and pop shop. And that's because they have really done an excellent job with their deep pockets of influencing the authorities that are making determinations on this issue of wireless radiation.
We've heard that we are locked in a technology battle with China over commercializing 5G. Shouldn't we ramp up 5G so we don't fall behind other countries?
You know, this issue of the race to 5G, it reminds me of the race to arms, or, you know, what are we racing for? Wouldn't we just race for protective public health? What about the race to educate our children in healthy environments? What about the race to safe technology? So I think this is being framed in an industry-friendly lens, and we really need to think outside the box and go back to what we all know as people, as parents, as individuals, which is, what is the healthy, safe action to take to protect your future, our future, and our children's future? So the race should be to safe technology.
In light of the fact the FCC leadership has long been former industry executives, how does this impact the public's health?
Well, as I talked about before, the Harvard report, which talks about the FCC as a captured agency, that's from 2015. We could update it now because there have been new positions that were filled at the FCC by former industry lawyers. And what's happened is the United States agencies that should be protecting the public are really captured and are protecting industry and putting forward rules and regulations that roll out the red carpet for 5G and for more wireless everything. So when I talk about, like, how did this happen? This is a Wi-Fi enabled Barbie. How did this even become legal, that we have this doll, which is wirelessly connected, that children hug and play with and probably sleep with, or even things like this. This is a potty seat, which has the place for the tablet, so you can train your baby on how to use the potty and have them also be addicted to using this device, which is right in front of their face. I mean, how did those become legal? They never should have gotten to market.
Are there actually laws saying you can't take into account health effects when protesting the installation of 5G towers in your area? Can you explain this?
Well, what happened was in 1996, the Telecom Act was passed. It is one of the most heavily lobbied bill. It probably is the most heavily lobbied bill in the United States of America. And that had in it Section 704, which stated that environmental effects could not be taken into account so long as the radiation limits met FCC limits, as long as the measured radiation was within and compliant with FCC limits. I'm a bit summarizing. That has been interpreted by case law in some circuits to address human health effects, but we believe that it is an overreach of the statute, actually, to say, well, we can't talk about human health. And actually, many elected officials will say, we can't talk about human health because of the Telecom Act, but the question I would ask is this constitutional? And does this seem right? There have been many legal initiatives to replace Section 704 because of the effect that it's had and because of these court determinations. So we are really trying to raise awareness on this. And we hope that at some point this will be replaced with more protective public regulations, because it really is, it just doesn't seem right to not be able to talk about human health. So if a cell tower is going up in front of your house, is it really right that people are told by their elected officials they can't stop it by talking about human health impacts? When Environmental Health Trust, we are contacted very regularly by families who have had cell towers go up in front of their homes or small cell wireless antennas, and the family members have gotten sick from that overexposure because the radiation intensity is so high and so intense. And I just did an interview actually last night with a family with 2 little girls who have gotten sick. They're throwing up. They can't go to school. They have headaches. In fact, the whole block has gotten sick when a cell tower was fired up right within a couple hundred feet of their home.